Should the Knicks pursue a Jaylen Green trade? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. He is 23 years old, extremely athletic, can create his own shot, can jump out of the building. Brunson and Green together would be extremely dynamic. They'd be able to push the pace, get out in transition. And the lobs would just be so much fun. Are you kidding me? OG and Green in transition, that would be awesome. And then, of course, the Knicks are one of the slower teams. They got outran by the Pacers, and that was a huge problem is they weren't getting back. And also the Knicks, they tried to match it, but that's not who the Knicks really are. But I think a lot of that as well was Tom Thibodeau. New coach, they're certainly going to play quicker and be a little bit more methodical with their offense. But just looking at it in hindsight, Jaylen Green's best basketball is ahead of him. He's probably at an all-time low right now in terms of value. It almost seems like he was a throw into this trade. Dylan Brooks, the 10th overall pick, and then Jaylen Green's just there. And I get that he might be like the biggest name in this because of where he was drafted, and Jaylen has like a lot of Instagram followers. But in terms of just a basketball player, I wasn't impressed at all last season with Jaylen Green. And this is coming from somebody who lived in Houston the past 2 years, who knows a lot about the Rockets, who actually makes videos on the Rockets. By the way, I don't just make Knicks videos. I'm a Knicks fan, obviously, but I do make Rocket videos as well. And I think that if the Knicks can financially make this work and not give up too much, then they absolutely should at least consider or pursue this trade. Because who's creating a shot outside of Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns? Like, OG Anunoby's not putting the ball on the floor and going and getting a bucket, at least consistently. Mikal Bridges certainly sure as hell not doing that. The problem is that you can't just trade Mikal for Jalen because it doesn't work financially. But then you traded 5 first-round picks for Jaylen Green. And he's getting paid right now. It's not like Jalen's on a rookie contract. He got extended last season. And you look at the upcoming year, he is going to make $33.3 million. Next season, $36 million. And then the next year after that, he's got a player option of $36 million, which certainly he'll end up picking that up because he's not going to get more than that. So it's a good chunk of change. But I do think that Jalen legitimately would raise the ceiling of the Rockets. It's just not 2K. That's the problem. It's not like the Rockets can just, trade. I'm just going to throw some random names out there like Bacome Dadier and PJ Tucker. Like, it's not like they can just in like the Wizards first round pick, top 8 protected. If that was the case, oh my God, like that are you kidding me? Have Jaylen Green come off of our bench and with Josh Hart and just have like a super athletic transitionist type. Like, I would love that, but it's not 2K. But I thought this would be a fun video topic. I actually did see another Knicks page post something on Twitter about should the Knicks pursue this. I don't think the Knicks will. I mean, maybe they'll call the Sun and see if they want to have a conversation. But in terms of like financially making this happen, it's not going to be easy. I don't even know if it would be possible. I mean, you'd probably be talking about like Mikal or Mitchell Robinson being thrown in there. And Jalen's just not even close to being as good as those guys. In the future, I think Jalen was going to be a really good player as long as he's developed in the right system. But working with Jalen Brunson, I just find it hard to believe that there's a place that Jalen can go that he's going to learn more than a guy like a Jalen Brunson. Like, Devin Booker's phenomenal, and maybe he'll be able to work that out. But just Brunson, he's not athletic. He's just pure skill. He's just has amazing footwork, and he knows the game. I think that's what Jaylen Green needs. He needs somebody like that to just take under his wing and to learn. And also, the Knicks have a lot of good coaches on their staff. I know they don't have a head coach yet, don't get me wrong. But we just saw Johnny Bryant, of course, go over to the Cavs and be their lead assistant. And then he was finished up second, unfortunately for him, for the Phoenix Suns head coaching job, which is funny because we're talking about Jaylen Green on the Suns. You also got Yoshimoto, who, of course, coaches our summer league team, and he's one of the best assistants we really have on the squad. Maurice Cheeks, Rick Brunson, who's good too. Brunson's been under a lot of controversy lately. I don't know what's going on. I'm not inside the organization, so I can't really speak on it. But Jaylen Green, he would speed up the pace of the team. He'd also be able to create a shot at the end of the shot clock. And when Brunson's not on the floor, he's just going to be a go-to scorer. I like the upside. I like the potential. It's just, you can't financially make this work because of the new luxury tax threshold. The Knicks are just under the second apron right now. If they end up not bringing back PJ Tucker, that's going to create some money. But I just wish that like I could have some offers for this and I would just give my opinion, but it's just gonna be too difficult to be able to do that. And you'd have to probably trade McHale. And I'm not ready to give up on McHale yet. I thought he had an extremely underwhelming season, but I want to see what he looks like with a new coach. Because Taylor Jenkins or like Mike Brown, it's going to be a lot different than Tibbs. I'm not necessarily saying they're better coaches. I do think they're better fits. I mean, there was just a lot that went wrong, like poor inbound plays and just low IQ moments. I mean, game one sums up exactly why Tibbs was fired because the Knicks were trying to score too quickly, turnovers, sloppy inbound plays, just lackadaisicalness. I don't know if that's even a word. Probably not. But it was just legitimately, we talked about Brunson's amazing fundamentals and IQ. It was like the opposite at the end of that game. And Brunson and Hart actually did talk about on their podcast, The Roommate Show, about this. Make sure you guys go check that out, man. They dropped like, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. It's just inexcusable. The Knicks should be in the finals right now. And it's game 7 tonight. So it's not like the Knicks had no chance. I know everyone's like, even if the Knicks did beat the Pacers, they're not beating the Thunder. Well, that series is 7 games. I don't think the Thunder are good, but there's no like great all-time great type of team in the playoffs. So the Knicks would have had a chance. But next season, I think the Knicks are going to be way better. It's just, can they stay healthy? In Boston, Tatum had a serious injury, a serious surgery. So he's not going to be ready to go next season. Even if he is, he's going to be back late, and it's going to take him some time. And then you're talking about Cleveland. Nobody's afraid of them because they just don't seem to be able to do anything in the playoffs. And then like Milwaukee, yeah. Even if Giannis is there, Dame, just speaking of surgery, like serious injuries, the Bucks really are not much of a threat. Like the one team is the Pacers. You gotta give them credit. The Pacers and the Cavs, but the Knicks, like we know that if the Knicks hadn't had that collapse, they would have won that series. And then the Cavs, I mean, like nobody's afraid of the Cavs. Like let's just be honest. But in terms of Jaylen Green, I'm gonna say that it's just I don't see it as realistic. Would love to see if the Knicks actually are involved in the Jaylen Green sweepstakes. Sweepstakes is kind of like insane to say that because it's Jaylen Green at the end of the day. I just can't think at the top of my head a team that would be good for Jaylen Green. You might be thinking to send him to a bad team. I think Jaylen needs to go to a really good team to get the most out of him into a situation. Houston was a good culture. They were the second seed in the West. I think that's going to elevate Jaylen. It's got to be someone who believes in him, though. And I think the Knicks would work, but just not financially. Like the fit makes sense, but everything else doesn't. So I'm gonna say that this is actually unrealistic, and I'm also gonna say that there's like really no 0% chance that this is gonna happen. But it's just fun to talk about. Why not, man? We got the draft on Wednesday. After that, we can start talking about. Well, the Knicks have the 50th pick. Having guys on him, PJ McConnell's trying to get in his head. So, but Brunson, of course, down the stretch hit that crazy floater, and he just got it done. He knocked down the free throws. He finished 10 of 10.